Welcome to my channel. Today we will discuss about the theory part of chapter work, energy and power. In that one, in previous lecture we were completed A part, that's theory and numerical we were completed, and today we will do the theory part of B part of work, energy and power, and that is the different forms of energy. So we will start. Fine. So as different forms of energy, basically in this topic we will study about the mechanical energy. Mechanical energy. Earlier we have studied energy is the form of work done. So today about mechanical energy, what is the mechanical energy and what are the parts of the mechanical energy. Mechanical energy have two different types. One is two different parts. One is kinetic, another is potential. So one by one we will discuss. Kinetic. First of all, I will explain what is kinetic and what is potential. Kinetic word means motion. Kinetic means motion, and potential means at rest. So kinetic energy, energy possessed in a body due to its motion. And what will be potential energy? Energy possessed in a body due to its position is potential energy. Like we can understand it by one example. Suppose this ball I am going to release over here. If I am going to release it from here, it comes down. It comes down. So if we hold at this position, so this ball will have its potential energy over here. But because its position is fixed, but as we will release it, it will comes down. It comes down with a certain velocity and it is under motion. So it will have kinetic energy when it moves, and when we hold it at this position, it will have potential energy. So these two examples are of kinetic and potential. So one by one we will discuss about potential energy and kinetic energy. So as I have mentioned, what is the potential energy? Potential means due to position, energy possessed in a body due to its fixed position. So definition part is here. Definition: the energy possessed by a body at rest due to its position or size and shape is called the potential energy. This is the definition of potential energy, and simply we can define what is the potential energy. Energy possessed in a body due to its position is potential energy. Now, forms of potential energy. We have to study two different forms of potential energy. One is gravitational potential energy, another is elastic potential energy. Again, I will tell you what is gravitational potential energy. As we said, कि if we hold this ball at this height, so this body will have its mass, and earth have a tendency to attract all the object towards its center with a certain acceleration, and that acceleration is called acceleration due to gravity. So what will be its downward force, it will be mg. M is the mass of the body and g is the acceleration due to gravity, mg downward. So, and one more thing, it have its certain height. So height is kind of displacement, weight is force, force is mg and height is h. So energy is the form of work done and work done is force into displacement. Keep that in mind. What is work done? Force into displacement. If we hold it at this position, what is the force due to this ball or force of this ball? It will be its weight, which is mg. And when it comes down or we hold it at a certain height from the ground level, so that height is h. So its work done will be force into displacement. Force is mg and height is h. So of course we will get the formula mgh. That we will see. And next thing is elastic potential energy. Elastic potential energy. Potential energy due to elastic body or inelastic body, we can say, not due to elastic body. Like simply we will say any catapult is there, catapult, and we are pulling it. We are going to pull it. As we pull it, so what happens? In that string, rubber string, there will be potential energy stored. Which kind of potential energy will be? Elastic potential energy. And as we leave it, that elastic potential energy is converted to kinetic energy. Another example we can take, like any spring is there. Spring. As we stretch the spring, what happens in that case? As we stretch the spring want to restore its original position. So as we stretch it, then it will have its energy. That energy is called elastic potential energy. So these two terms are there. That is the forms of potential energy. So what are the forms of potential energy? Gravitational potential energy and elastic potential energy. Now one by one we will see. Gravitational potential energy. Already I have given the by example of the ball, everything I have mentioned that we can see over here. Suppose any ball of mass m is here. It is at certain height from the ground. This is the ground. It is at height h, and as we hold the ball at this position, so this in this direction it will have a force. That force is mg. That is the weight of the body, and it as it is falling down, it will have its displacement, which is equals to height. So we have to find out what? Work done, and work done will be in the form of gravitational potential energy. So that's proof we want to write. We can write with little explanation. We can write let m be the mass of this ball, and the ball is at height h from the ground. So we can write, since weight of the body, and that weight of the body will be equals to mg, that is equals to downward force. This weight of the body is equals to downward force on the body due to gravity. So it is the downward force. Now it is force, so we can write, instead of weight I can write it as mg. And what is gravitational potential energy? Energy is the form of work done, and we know since work done is force into displacement, as I will say. Therefore here that work done is stored in the form of gravitational potential energy, which is represented by U, that is force is as mg and displacement is as h, since s is equals to h in this case. So gravitational potential energy U is equals to mgh. That same thing I have written over here. W is the weight. Weight is here. Weight is force of gravity, mg. Sorry, work done. It's not weight, it is work done. Force of gravity into displacement, but force of gravity is mg. Force of gravity is mg into displacement is equals to height. So potential energy ultimately is mgh. Potential energy is mgh. Now next term is loss in potential energy. Loss in potential energy, that again we can understand by the example. Suppose initially the ball is at this position, its height from the ground it is h2, and as I will leave it from here, it comes, suppose it comes over here. So as it initially it was at this position and it comes to this position. So initially height was h2, now height is h1. So definitely there is the loss of potential energy. There is the loss of potential energy. And what will be that loss of potential energy? We can write potential energy at height h2 minus potential energy at height h1. So just we can write, and by that one we can get the loss in potential energy. So loss in potential energy will be when the ball is dropped from a certain height, then potential energy will be lost. And if the ball is thrown in vertically upward direction, then in that case what will happen? There will be gain in potential energy because it raises to height. Height will increase, so potential energy will increase. Height decreases, so potential energy will decrease. Okay, so loss in potential energy we have to discuss. Suppose initially the ball was at height h1 or h2, we can write initially the ball was at height h2. It is coming from rest, this is ground, and ball reaches to position B. Ball reaches to position B. B I will take over here. So in this case, as we can see, this height is h2 and this height is h1. So ball have its mass m. So potential energy, there are the two positions A and B. So I can write in this case potential energy at A point, it will be mg. I will write it as h2. So h2, and potential energy at position B, it will be mgh1. So loss in potential energy will be, therefore loss in potential energy will be mg h2 minus mg h1. So mg is common, so mg h2 minus h1. This is the loss in potential energy. So we get loss in potential energy as h2 minus mg h2 minus h1. mg h2 minus h1, this term. Okay. So this is the final expression. Now same way we can get loss, it was the loss in potential energy, now we can get the gain in potential energy. And for gain in potential energy, the body should be thrown in upward direction. Loss, maximum height to minimum height. And gain in potential energy, minimum to maximum. When the body is thrown in upward direction, then there will be gain in potential energy. So this was the case when body is falling down. This case for the loss in potential energy, and for gain in potential energy, what is the condition? The body should be thrown in upward direction. So gain in potential energy we can write. For that also we can draw the diagram. Initially the body was, this is the ground, and body is thrown from here. It reaches to point A. Here direction is this one, and it is falling down, and here direction is this one. It reaches to point A, and further from here it reaches to point B. This is point B. Here this height was h1, and this height is h2, and ball is moving in upward direction, that is thrown in upward direction. So we can write potential energy at A will be mgh1. So we can write potential energy at A will be mgh1, and potential energy at B, it will be mgh2. So gain in potential energy, what will be gain in potential energy? Gain in potential energy will be maximum height to minimum height. It will be mgh2 minus mgh1. So you will get mgh2 minus h1. Formula ultimately will be same for both gain in potential energy. But what is the difference? Difference is that in one case, if the body is falling down, then there will be loss in potential energy, and as the body is thrown in upward direction, then there will be gain in potential energy. Fine. Okay. So now we'll move for the kinetic energy. And just before starting kinetic energy, there is the request, please like, share and subscribe the channel, because as you will like and subscribe the channel, so I will get a lot of support from your side, so definitely will help me. So now we will discuss about the kinetic energy. As in beginning I mentioned, what is the kinetic energy? Kinetic means motion. If any body, that we can say kinetic energy, if any body is moving, then that will have kinetic energy. Moving body will have kinetic energy. And kinetic energy is the energy possessed in a body due to its motion, is simply kinetic energy. So as I have mentioned already, as we'll release the ball from this side, this initially at rest it will have its potential energy, and as I will release it from here, that comes in motion. So this potential energy converted to kinetic energy. Potential, kinetic, as it is moving down, so kinetic. So that simple way, kinetic energy is the energy possessed in a body due to its motion. So kinetic energy, the energy possessed by a body due to its state of motion, is called the kinetic energy. Now expression for the kinetic energy will depend on what factors? Again, I can show you this body have its mass, and as it comes in motion, so as it is coming down, it will have its certain velocity. So kinetic energy will depend on two factors, one is the mass, another is velocity. And what will be formula for that? We will derive an expression to get what is the formula for the kinetic energy. So let us see what is the kinetic energy. The kinetic energy possessed by a moving body is equal to amount of work which the moving body can do before coming to rest. Again, energy is the form of work done, so they have used amount of work which the moving body can do before coming to rest. So we have to derive an expression for the before coming to rest. It is telling, means finally it comes to rest. So final velocity we can take it as 0. So I will explain it by one example. Suppose any body is there that have its mass m, this body having its mass m, it is moving with velocity, initial velocity I will take it as u, and or v we can say, and it is moving and it comes over here and finally it comes to rest. It depends on us which velocity we are taking. So finally it comes to position this, again it will have its mass m, but there will be change in the velocity will change, and during that it covers a displacement as I will say s. S is the displacement. Terms must be clear. M is the mass of the body, s is the distance or displacement we can say, displacement say, u initial velocity, v is final velocity, So these all the terms are there. Now we have to think about it. What we have mentioned, it is equal to amount of work. So we'll start with the work only. Since work done is force into displacement, but what will be force here? Force is ma into displacement is s. This is work done. But we know one more thing. Okay, don't take this as equation 1, take this as equation 1. So w is equals to m into as. A and s I am going to take together. Now we know, according to we have to introduce the terms of velocity over here. So we can write according to kinematical equations by the kinematical equation v square minus u square is equals to 2as. So a into s will be v square minus u square by 2. Now can we substitute this value in equation 1? So therefore equation 1 becomes, these values will substitute in equation 1. So w will be m into as will be v square minus u square by 2. This value I have substituted over here. So it becomes half m v square minus half m u square. It is work done, but we are telling when body comes to, before body coming to rest by definition. by definition, moving body can do before coming rest. So as it comes to rest, so final velocity we are taking as 0 in this case. For this case, another way we can interchange that velocity also. Either we can say, I will change it, I will write, if body starts from rest, as body starts from rest, so therefore initial velocity u will be 0. So this work done will be half mv square minus half mu is 0 square. So work done is equals to half mv square, and this work done in moving body will be stored as kinetic energy. So kinetic energy का formula will be, therefore kinetic energy will be half mv square. Actually this derivation will be same for the next part also. There will be one term, work energy theorem. We will have the same derivation, no change at all. Okay, so this is the expression for kinetic energy. Now next term is relation between kinetic energy and momentum. First of all, what is the momentum? Momentum is defined as the product of mass and velocity. Momentum, mv, mass into velocity. Like we say, when we say anybody have more momentum, like if mass is more, then that will have more momentum. Like we say ki at any point, if any person is on the road and car is moving slowly and that hit, so the person definitely will not die. But if that car is coming with very high speed, with very high velocity, and that then it hit the person, then person will definitely die. So what is the difference in these two? Mass of the car remains same, but velocity changes. As velocity is more, we say car was having more momentum. So what is momentum? It is defined as the product of mass and velocity. So initially I will mention about the momentum, then we will establish the relation. So we can write, since momentum is represented by P, momentum. Okay, we can write the definition also. Momentum, just in one step we can write momentum. It is represented by P, that is mass into velocity. So it is the product of mass and velocity. Product of mass and velocity. So momentum is represented by P, that is m into v. Now we have to establish the relation between kinetic energy and momentum. Kinetic energy and momentum. So we can write, since kinetic energy, that I will represent it by K, is half mv square. I can do one thing, I will multiply this term by m and divide this term by m. What happens now? It will be 1 by 2m into m into v to the whole square. So it will be m into v is p, so it will be p square by 2m. K is equals to p square by 2m. We can write, what is the reason? Since momentum P is product of mass and velocity. So this is the relation between kinetic energy and momentum. So kinetic energy is P square by 2m, and another form we can write, or P square will be 2mk. This is also relation, P square. So P will be root of 2mk. Terms must be clear. What is P? P is the momentum, m is the mass, and k is the kinetic energy. So this is the relation between kinetic energy and momentum. Okay, now we can discuss about the two different cases. Assumptions are there, they are the cases. Case 1 we can take, if like two bodies are there, they have the same momentum, and second case if they have the same kinetic energy, तो उनके masses के relation क्या होंगे, ratios क्या होंगे, and दूसरे cases. तो we can write what is first case. We can write if two bodies having same momentum. So if P momentum is constant, I will say constant means two bodies will have the same momentum. So now if P is same, then we can write, since K is equals to P square by 2m, and we are talking that P is constant, so we can write K will be inversely proportional to m. So in that case, K1 by K2 is equals to m2 by m1, because it is inversely proportional. Inversely proportional means what? One increases, another decreases. That is the inversely proportional. Now we can write second part, if K is constant. If K is constant. Second, if K, that is kinetic energy, if kinetic energy K is constant, if K is constant. If K is constant, then we can write this part, since P is equals to root of 2mk, and we are talking K is constant. As K is constant, so therefore P will be proportional to root of m, and P1 by P2 will be root of m1 by m2. This one of the relation may be there. Another case also may arise if m is constant. If m is constant, then kinetic energy will be directly proportional to square of momentum. If m is constant, then kinetic energy is directly proportional to square of momentum. So K will be proportional to P square, or P square will be proportional to K, or P will be root of K. So these all are the possible cases. Now next part I will discuss, that is our work energy theorem. What is work energy theorem? One more video I have already uploaded regarding work energy theorem. You can see from there also, and I will continue it in this video also. Work energy theorem. Work energy theorem. Like we say, what is the law of conservation of energy? Or conservation of, energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can be converted from one form to another form. That is the law of conservation of energy. Same way, we can define work energy theorem also. Again, I will explain it via one example. Suppose you are playing football and you are rushing behind the football. You are running behind the football, and football is also moving with certain velocity, that I will say that is moving with initial velocity u. And as you apply the force on that football, football will have displacement because it will move from one place to another place, as well as you will apply the force, then it will attain the displacement, as well as its kinetic, its velocity also will change. So we can say mass is constant, velocity changes, so kinetic energy changes, and that change in kinetic energy will be depend on work done by you on the football. That is the basic concept. So again, I will draw the diagrams for that and I will explain. So we are taking, Suppose any football is here and this football have its mass m, and we apply the force on it. We are applying the force on it. Initially it is moving with initial velocity u, and this football reaches to this position. Of course displacement becomes same. Velocity, its final velocity becomes v. Of course velocity will change, and displacement attained by it is from here to here as s. S is the displacement. Again mass of this body also remains same, mass will not change. So we will write all the terms. F is applied force, m is the mass of the body, and u is initial velocity, and v is final velocity. So these all are the terms. S is the displacement or distance, displacement. So what is our observation? What I said, कि as we apply the force on this body to this direction, force apply हुआ, then body get displaces for a displacement s, and it was have initial velocity as u. When we apply the force on it, it changes its velocity as v, and this is the displacement. So simple way, as we are applying the force and body get displaces, it means we do some work, and that work done will be what, that is to be find out us. So work done due to force, work done on the body, work done on the body due to force F. So we know work done is equals to force into displacement, but force is mass into acceleration into displacement. Again I will write m into as, it is work done, that I will say as 1. Further again by the kinematical equation, by kinematical equation. What kinematical equation? We have to introduce terms of velocities. So we know since v square minus u square is equals to 2as, so a into s will be v square minus u square by 2. So we can write therefore this work done will be w will be m into as will be v square minus u square by 2. So this I can write half mv square minus half mu square, and mv square, half mv square is kinetic energy. So this is final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy. So this is equals to change in kinetic energy. So change in kinetic energy. So this work done is the form of change in kinetic energy, and this is the statement of work energy theorem. So what is work energy theorem? Work energy theorem, according to statement, as we can say, according to work energy theorem, the work done by a force on a moving body in the same direction is equal to increase in its kinetic energy. And what is increase in kinetic energy? Final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy is nothing but change in kinetic energy or increase in kinetic energy, and this is the work energy theorem. Fine. So we have state and prove the work energy theorem. So next, forms of kinetic energy. Forms of kinetic energy. What are the forms of kinetic energy? Just some definitions are there now. We can see forms of kinetic energy. Translational. Translational means linear. Linear. The motion of a body in a straight line path is called a straight line. Translational means a straight line is called the translational motion, and the motion and the kinetic energy of the body due to motion in a straight line is called the translational kinetic energy. Second is rotational kinetic energy. Rotational energy possessed in a body, rotating body, that will be, if a body rotates about an axis, the motion is called the rotational motion, and kinetic energy of the body due to rotation, due to rotational motion is called the rotational kinetic energy, or simply rotational energy. So translational means a straight line. As this ball is moving from one place to another place in a straight line, so that will have translational kinetic energy, because it will have its mass and it will have its velocity. What about the rotational kinetic energy? As the body is rotating about this axis like this, and rotating body will have its kinetic energy, like fan is also rotating on its own axis, so that also will possess the energy, and that energy will be called as rotational kinetic energy. So that that will be rotational kinetic energy. Okay. Next is vibrational kinetic energy, like any pendulum is oscillating. So if any pendulum is oscillating to and fro, that will have its kinetic energy. So that is called the vibrational kinetic energy. If a body moves to and fro, this word is very important. Pendulum oscillate to and fro. It repeats its path to and fro about its mean position. The motion is called the vibrational motion. The kinetic energy of the body due to its vibrational motion is called the vibrational kinetic energy, or simply the vibrational energy. Now different forms of energies are there. Solar energy, different form, all are the theory parts now. Solar energy, the energy radiated out by the sun is called the solar energy. We know sun is the ultimate source of energy. Hydrogen and hydrogen combine, nuclear fusion takes place, in that inside the sun hydrogen and hydrogen combine, they form the helium atom, and by that reaction tremendous amount of energy is going to be released, and that energy comes to our earth. So we know sun is the ultimate source of energy. So that energy is the solar energy. The energy radiated out by the sun is called the solar energy. Heat energy, the energy released on burning coal, oil, wood or gas is called the heat energy. The steam obtained on heating water. Light energy, it is the form of energy in presence of which other objects are seen. Chemical energy or fuel energy, the energy possessed by fossil fuels as coal, petroleum, natural gas are called the chemical energy. Hydro, as per the name it is clear, hydro means water. Hydro energy, energy possessed by fast moving water is called hydro energy. Next is electrical energy. Electrical energy, when two dry bodies are rubbed together, silk and fur, they get charged due to movement of free electrons from one body to other body, so they possesses electrical energy. Simply rubbed together, this part we have to remember. This electrical energy is also called as the frictional electricity, that is the frictional electricity. Next part is the nuclear energy. The energy released due to loss in mass during the process of nuclear fission and fusion. Fusion, I have given the example of the sun, and fission, this takes place in nuclear power plants. In that case, bigger nuclei is split into daughter nuclei, and during that energy is going to be released, is called the nuclear or atomic energy. Geothermal energy, energy released in nuclear disintegrations in the interior of earth get stored deep inside the earth and is called the geothermal energy. Geo matlab earth, inside earth that energy exists. Wind energy, the energy possessed by fast moving air, that is storm, is called the wind energy. Now sound energy, a vibrating body possesses the sound energy. Anywhere, as we clap, sound energy produces due to vibration. Guitar wire, as we plug the guitar wire, that vibrates, so sound produces. Flute, we blow the air, and due to vibration of air column inside that flute, sound produces. So that is the sound energy. A vibrating body possesses the sound energy. It is sensed by our ears. Magnetic energy, next is the magnetic energy. The energy possessed by a magnet due to which it can attract iron filings is called magnetic energy. Next is mechanical energy, the energy possessed by a body due to its state of rest or of motion is called the mechanical energy. Mechanical energy, energy possessed in a body due to its rest or due to motion is called mechanical energy. Initially when I was start lecture, today's lecture, in that one I was mentioned mechanical energy, then that was having two classification, kinetic and potential. So mechanical energy, in that one both included. Kinetic means at rest, as well as potential means, kinetic means in motion and potential means at rest, both included in that one. Now conversion of one form of energy into the other form. Conversion, we know mechanical energy to electrical energy, who converts it? Dynamo. Mechanical energy to electrical energy. Best example, that is a dam. From the dam, at dam water is stored, and then that water is released. That water fall on the blades of the turbine, and turbine rotates, so electricity is generated. That system is the dynamo. Now electrical energy to mechanical energy, motor. Electrical to mechanical, our fans are the example of electrical to mechanical, that is motor. Next, electric energy to heat energy, electric iron, that convert electrical to heat, and heat to electrical, thermocouple. Electrical energy to sound energy, our loudspeaker, and sound to electrical, microphone, this microphone. Electrical energy to chemical energy, charging a battery. Chemical to electrical, cell in use. Chemical to light, lighted candle, and light to chemical, photosynthesis, by which plant make their food. And electrical to light energy, that is lighted electric bulb, and light energy to electrical, that is photocell. This is new, photocell. Okay, light energy to electrical energy, photocells. Where photocells are going to be used? At solar panels. Photocells are there as light incident on that one, electrons generated, and then flow of electron takes place, and due to that electricity produces, so we can utilize to charge it, any battery, and later on we can utilize it. Okay, so this is the end of the theory of part B. I hope it was easy to understood. Okay, we will meet in next lecture, in next video with the numericals of part B. Thanks.